everyone, it's Cameron, also known as the Knitty Muggins, and I thought I would do a little video today showing my, I don't know, what I got for Christmas and what I bought myself and kind of what's going on. So first I will start with finished projects. I have none. Pretty easy. My current work in progress is this. I tend to be a pretty one, maybe two project at a time knitter. I tend to I have ADD and I have 4 children running around my house, so I don't need too much chaos going on. I got this project bag at my local yarn store. It doesn't have a tag as to who made it, but I love this bag. Anyway, so I'm currently knitting the Rose City Rollers socks. I am about to do my last decrease row, and then I'll be just doing the regular straight knitting until I get to that last 2-inch stretch where I need to shape my toe. And that's it for works in progress. I figured that was good for now. Okay, then gifted yarn. I did not get a whole lot of yarn gifted to me, or any sewing stuff really needed to me. Oh, I did get a book, and I just realized I don't have it right here with me. Okay, hang on just a second. So, I didn't get a whole lot of knitting stuff gifted to me this Christmas. I tend to be the kind of person that I get really, really into a hobby, and then I don't. I don't know. Hobbies kind of come and go with me. This one, though, I have this very serious, sneaky suspicion it's going to stay for quite a while. So, anywho, the stuff that I got gifted for Christmas. My sister-in-law gave me this Doctor Who 500-year diary, and it's all just kind of blank pages like this inside. They're kind of slick, so I have to be careful what kind of pens I use in it. But this is going to become my project book that I keep. And I would have stuff in it already, but I wanted to kind of start fresh with whatever I start on in 2016. And so since that starts here in a few days, since today is the 29th, you know, that'll come in handy. And then I am super stoked about this book.
Can you touch my Kindle again?
I will in a little bit. I got this literary knits book, which I just dove right into this and like squealed over almost all of the patterns. They are all patterns, and I know this is available on Amazon. It has women's accessories, women's shawls and garments, men and children. But every single pattern in here has to do with a book. It is inspired by a book, and many of them are ones that I have deeply enjoyed, and so I really loved it. I was gonna see if it had a list of the actual books that it drew inspiration from. But unfortunately, I don't see. Oh, here. Hello. The Great Gatsby, Wuthering Heights, Anna Karenina, Tess of D'Urbervilles, A Tree Grows in Brooklyn, Madame Bovary, A Room with a View, 100 Years of Solitude, Pride and Prejudice, The Sun Also Rises, Anne of Green Gables, Lord of the Rings, Moby Dick, The Metamorphosis, On the Road, The Call of the Wild, Tale of Two Cities, Slaughterhouse Five, To Kill a Mockingbird, The Tin Drum, The Golden Compass, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and then it says and more. So lots of really, really good patterns in here. This is from The Great Gatsby. That's Daisy's hat. So that was awesome. I was really stoked to get that. And then this is the yarn that I'm currently making my socks out of. This is Bernette Socks. This was given to me by one of my grandparents. It is 60% acrylic and 40% nylon. Not anything I would necessarily typically knit with because I happen to like animal fiber best. but it doesn't have that acrylic-y feel to it. It has a really soft feel, almost like cotton. And he thought I needed more color in my life. So he got me 2 skeins of this. And then I got this. It is, let's see, 50% merino wool. And then rayon and some other thing that I don't know how to say. Anyway. So this is Deborah Norville Collection Serenity. The color is chili. This one is rainbow, aptly named. And this is super soft and squishy. And so I told them I wanted to try my hand at socks this year. Well, this year, this upcoming year, 2016. So they got me some sock yarn. So that was greatly appreciated. And then I got a gift card from my stepdad. And so I went just this morning, actually, to our local yarn store and picked up some goodies. So one thing I got was another project bag. It's just like this one, just different fabric. I wish I could get one in every single fabric she makes. Some of the fabrics, like this one, I'm not super fond of the fabric itself, but I just love the project bag. I love it. And I don't have, I mean, I have tons of totes, but I don't have many, like, smaller bags, so that's something I'm totally planning on working on this upcoming year. I went ahead and got another Swift. I had a Swift, a wooden one, and I had problems with the screw, so I had to take it back, and they were out of the wooden ones, and so I exchanged it for the plastic one, because that's all she had left. I have had my eyes on this for quite a while, and now that I had a gift card, I could go back and get it. It wasn't a super expensive yarn. It was about $30 a skein, I'm sorry, a hank. It is 70% merino, superwash merino wool, 20% cashmere, 10% nylon. It has about 400 yards in each one, and I love this colorway. This is from Smooshy with cashmere sock wet yarn, and it's Dream, and the color is Mermaid Shoes, which I thought was so cool. But I loved this colorway. I thought this was just gorgeous. I have no plans for this, but I mean, this is gorgeous. I had to get this. I had to. You know when you go through a shop and the yarn just is like poking you and going, "Hey, take me home." That's what this did. And then I bought 3 of these. I'm thinking this will become a shawl. I have a book that I got at my first fiber festival I ever went to earlier in the year. And my mother bought me a book full of medieval themed shawls. And so I'm thinking maybe this is what it'll get worked into. This is Juniper Moon Farm Harriet Heather's 100% baby alpaca. This is the same type of yarn that I used to make my mother's Downton Abbey hat for her Christmas present. It's 218 yards a skein, or I'm sorry, a hank. Color 1007. They don't have names for the yarn, but I love this. It's so soft. Oh my goodness, I just couldn't take it anymore. So I bought that for myself, and then I bought some double point needles. These are Knit Picks, and they're metal because I've noticed that my wooden ones that I've been working with for my socks are starting to warp. So it was either those or the Caspians, and I really, really wanted the Caspians, but I went ahead and went with metal just because my wood ones warp, I think, from being in my hands and getting warm. So I'm going to fix it. And then we have what I just flat out bought for myself recently. So I went the other day to go look at yarn at my favorite yarn place. And I picked this up. I love owls. I couldn't decide if I wanted an owl or a lamb, but I went ahead and went with the owl. I have so many needle size things. But it was an owl. It's pretty. I wanted it. Oh, that's the fudge she gave me down in there. And then I have two of these. Made me kind of think of the TARDIS with Doctor Who. I'm a huge Whovian. So I went ahead and got these, thinking I'll do something like a shawl with it. Yeah. Araucania, maybe is how you say it, yarns. DK, it's pure extra fine merino wool, hand painted in Peru. There is about 309 yards per hank. So I got these two the other day. Because I can't go to the yarn store and not buy yarn. I bought that when I went to go get the wooden Swift that ended up not working. And then I'm trying to see. You can kind of see the edge of it. My ball winder's up and ready to go for winding a bunch of my yarn that I've bought. I bought this back when I bought some yarn for other projects a few weeks ago. This is Superwash. It is 75% merino. Anyway, it's some more sock yarn. I got this to go ahead and make some socks for myself. Color 241. It doesn't have a color name. Anyway, I thought this would make some cute socks. So I'm thinking probably some more Rose City rollers with this. I know this is going to be for Hermione's everyday socks. That's going to be what I make with that yarn. So typically I don't get this much yarn in one setting. I just got really, really lucky. Oh, and the crown jewel of all of the yarn is these two beautiful ladies. One of them gave me the biggest headache because it got super knotted when I was trying to wind it, which was my fault, not anything to do with the yarn. This is a Lorna Lace, 55% superwash merino wool, 15 nylon, 30 Outlast Visco. About 425 yards. I just tore the heck out of this band when I got it. This is the December 2015 Yorkshire Skies. This is for, I got it through Jimmy Bean's Wool. I don't buy a whole lot of yarn online, but I did this one. This is the Lorna Lace's Yorkshire Skies. It is gorgeous. The pictures I saw online had a lot of purple tinge to it, and I don't know if that's just how it photographed or my computer screen or what have you. This has almost no purple in it. It's almost all different shades of gray and light blues, kind of foggy. This is going to be for the Downton Abbey Mystery Knit Along, which begins this Sunday, the 3rd of January 2016. It's going to coincide with the last season of Downton Abbey season 6, and so I'm a huge Downton Abbey fan. And I really, really wanted to, I've always wanted to do a mystery knit along. I've never done any kind of knit along, and I wanted to do a knit along, especially a mystery one, and I love Downton Abbey. I have been with it since like episode 1 of season 1. I've hung with it all this time. I'm really sad that it's time for it to end, but I know it, you know, it has to at some point. So when I saw that there was a mystery knit along and it had to do with Downton Abbey, I was like, I'm so in, and I've heard great things about Jimmy Bean's Wool. So I went ahead and got these as well. So I'm really excited to do that. And I believe, and I will link information to that in the description box below. I'll try to link information for all of it that I have links to, like the project bags I don't really have anything for. And I believe there might be a bobble hat knit along that coincides with Downton Abbey. I'm not sure. I'm keeping my eyes on that because I really wanted to do that hat. And I really want to put a pom-pom on it if I make it. So I just ordered a pom-pom maker a few minutes ago, actually. And I'm trying to think. Oh, and then our local yarn store, well, I say local, it's like a 20-30 minute drive for me, which isn't horrible. They're hosting an English tea. in honor of Downton Abbey and their final season. And because there is apparently going to be a Downton Abbey line of yarns coming out. I was told it will be a mid-priced yarn. There are going to be 4 colors, all named after characters. Matthew and Sybil, I believe, are 2 of them, and I don't remember the other 2 names that she told me. Probably Lady Mary. And one other. So anyway, I am really excited about that. I'm waiting for her. She's trying to get the details put together, and then as soon as she puts it out on Facebook, I'm definitely going to RSVP for that. So that is all I have for now as far as knitting goes. As far as homeschooling goes, you can see I am starting to get everything in here. We had a room specifically for homeschooling, but with getting 3 children in the mix and having one very precocious 2-year-old, I felt like it would be better to do it at my kitchen table where I can keep an eye on everything in the house a little bit better than being in one room and having, you know, my 2-year-old kind of toddle around and get into mischief. So we have set up in my dining room area, and so the whiteboard is up, the clock is up with red and green for when it's going to be school time or break time and free time. I have 2 of these cubicle shelving units that the girls and I made one day when the boys were out. That's going to hold a lot of the things that we need right away. The bulk of our school storage will still be in the other room that we used as a schoolroom, which is also where our main computer for doing math is located. So we have that all set up. Our calendar and kind of weather centers over to this side. I need to do some lesson planning. We do Sabbath schooling, so we do 6 weeks of school followed by 1 week off. And I plan, usually in the past I have plotted out 1 year's worth of lessons at a time and filled the planner in and put down concrete dates, and really that put a lot of unnecessary pressure on myself. I didn't like that. So I went ahead and decided that this year I'm going to pull out, organize, and plan only 6 weeks at a time. Especially going from one solid curriculum and one pretty soft curriculum to 3 very structured curriculums. My oldest, Austin, is going to be a 4th grader, so he is starting Creation to the Greeks. My oldest daughter, Avery, is going to be going into 1st grade, so she will be doing My Father's World. Is it Learning God's Story, I believe? And then she'll go into some of the Creation to the Greeks schoolwork with her brother. And then my middle daughter, Abby, will be starting kindergarten, the first half of kindergarten. I'm splitting it over to a 2-year time frame for her. She just turned 4, and she will be starting God's World from A to Z, also My Father's World. And she'll only do that 3 days a week over a 2-year span. So, there's a lot of worksheets and planning and juggling to do, so I plan on taking care of all of that, and we are going to start, I believe, the 2nd week. Let me check here. I have my planners right here. Let's see. This year's the first year I'm using this one, the Ultimate Homeschool Planner by Deborah Bell, and I do believe I plotted out to start the 2nd or 3rd week of January. January the 11th will be our first full week of school. So we have this week and next week off, and then we start school. So I definitely need to sit down and plan for all of them. So I need to do that. But it's like my shirt says. I said to myself, I need to do something other than knitting today. And then I laughed and laughed because I just don't want to do anything other than knit. So I need to sit down and work on that and get their binders ready for school, and finish getting our little cubbies ready to go. But it's kind of hard transitioning from Christmas and getting all of the stuff we got for Christmas organized and put aside, and getting school stuff going. So I definitely need to do with that. As far as home life, personal life, it's been a rough few weeks. My husband had a flare-up with CMV, cytomegalovirus, and so he was sick with that and bronchitis. The week leading up to Christmas, he was sick on Christmas Day. He could barely get out of bed, unfortunately. He pretty much laid on the lazy boy when kids were opening presents, and even then we could only do it in shifts. But he's doing much better now that he's on antibiotics and has an inhaler. The kids are all pretty healthy at this point. We had a round of a tummy bug or some sort that swept through and hit all 4 of the kids before it was done. My oldest was hit, unfortunately, at a sleepover on Sunday night, and he had to come home early, which was unfortunate. But they're going to reschedule so he can try to sleep over at his friend's house again soon. And what else? My grandmother, Grammy, is in the hospital in Georgia. She's not doing well. She's currently battling multiple myeloma. And the chemo has lessened her white blood cell count, and so she is very susceptible to infection, and she apparently has one. So she is currently in the hospital. She received 2 units of blood. Her kidneys are still not functioning properly, unfortunately. And she's incredibly weak and sleeping a lot. So I'm very concerned about her. So please, if you don't mind lifting her up in prayer, that would be fantastic. Her name is Donna. And let's see, just regular old life is otherwise pretty good. We unfortunately had to miss a lot of church while we were sick. So I'm definitely looking forward to getting back into church and being helpful there. Our life group, everybody's been sick, so everybody's kind of under quarantine this week. So we won't have a life group meeting this week, unfortunately, but we will once the new year starts. So, and our homeschool co-op starts in January in a few weeks. So that'll be fun. I need to get my lesson planning done for that as well. I am teaching storybook science and fairy tale fun this semester, so that will be quite fun to do with the kids. It'll be pre-KK one class, and then first and second graders, my second class. And I'm only teaching 2 classes this semester. Typically I lead teach all 3 periods, but I just didn't feel quite up to that this semester, so I'm teaching two class periods and taking 1 class period off. And then other than that, the only other thing I'm really up to right now is reading a book. I just started reading it. It's by Michael and Debbie Pearl. It's To Train Up a Child. Somebody gave me this book a while back, and I just came across it last night, and I thought, I'll give it a read, kind of see what pearls of wisdom I can take from it. I kind of go into any book and try to see what I can glean from it that I would actually put into practice in my life, and then let the other go, well, I'm glad that works for your family. So that's it. So that's it for this episode. I would love to see what your guys' works in progress are. What are you guys doing any knit-alongs for January? And project bags. Let me know. Link me your favorite place to get project bags, because I'm looking for those. And my 2-year-old is wandering around looking like she's thoroughly confused about life. So I'm going to go catch up with her. You guys have a great start to your new year. I will see you again soon. Bye.